It's recording now. Sound recording?
Sound recording.
Okay. All right, welcome everybody. Apologies about the cap. I forgot my shade, so I've had to use Janine Roach's cap. Yes, it was too big. I've had it pulled right in at the back so it doesn't fall off. This is Parky's Picnic, okay? It's a new thing inside CF, revolutionary thinking. We expected to change the whole game. Every week I come out, I have a little picnic, and I pick something up off my picnic rug and talk about it. And hopefully that will help you better understand the landscape of food out here in Dubai. So the first thing on Parky's Picnic is, let's have a little drum roll. Bread, okay? Such a confusing subject, bread. You've got your multigrains, you've got your white bread, you've got your brown bread, you've got your whole wheats, whole greens, whole grains, whole meals. What the hell is going on with bread? How can we better understand this staple food? Parky's here with his picnic to try and help you find out. Now, to understand bread, you've got to understand the grain, okay? And you don't need to know the minutiae detail, but I'm going to tell you anyway. The grain is made up of three parts: the germ, the endosperm, and the bran. The germ, the endosperm, and the bran. The middle bit is the germ. The central part is the germ. Then outside the endosperm, then the outer layer is the bran. Okay, each of those parts contains nutrients in some form. So you've got your fats, proteins and carbs, you've got your fiber on the outside, and vitamins, minerals, and enzymes run all the way through the middle, all the way through. Okay, so if you look at what it takes to keep a living system alive, animal or human being, you need proteins, carbs, fats, vitamins, minerals, and enzymes. So in every single grain, every tiny little grain, you have everything that you need to sustain life. It's pretty damn clever. What isn't clever is that man came along, smashed away the germ and the bran, the brown bits in the bread, okay, was left with the white endosperm, milled it up into flour, okay, and then realized, well, it's milder tasting, it stays on for a long time, I can use it for many more products that don't go bad, and people much prefer to eat white bread. That's what isn't clever, okay, because yeah, I burped, get over it. So you take out, what he's essentially done is taken out all the nutrients, left something that is nutritionally dead, but more convenient, more profitable, okay, and then sold it back to us. That's why all products made with white flour are nutritionally dead, okay? So how do we get over that? Well, we have to try to eat whole foods, and this is where we're going to work out bread, because good bread is whole grain bread, okay? You want the whole grain. You want bread that is made by mashing up the germ, the bran, and the endosperm, so you get everything that you need in that loaf, okay? So how do we work out it? And it's not quite as simple as just saying, look, give me whole grain bread. Bread is very difficult to find. Whole grain bread is very difficult to find. There's a few things you need to be aware of, and a few tips that will help you take you down the right path. So first of all, when you go for whole grain bread, obviously buy something that promotes itself as whole grain bread. You're on the right track, okay? And then when you flip this bad boy over, whole grain, whole meal, flour should be the first thing on the label, because that by law has to be the majority of the ingredients. If you're buying a bread that bills itself as whole grain bread or mentions whole grain on the label, you flip it over and you find whole grain flour way down the ingredients list, that is not whole grain bread, okay? That's bread with some whole grain flour in it. But obviously the majority of the flour isn't whole grain flour, so it's the nutritionally crap stuff. A few other things to keep an eye out for. If there's a lorry load of ingredients, you have to ask yourself, well, what's going on? If you were to make bread, you would literally get the flour, you'd get some yeast, you'd get a bit of salt, you'd rise the whole thing up and you'd be away, okay? So if there's a load of ingredients, then it's not pure bread, it's something else. If it says multigrain, that sounds healthy, but what it actually is it's taking different bits of flour from loads of different grains. No one said whole grains. So it could be loads of refined flours from loads of different grains and stuck it in the middle. So beware multigrain. If it says 100% wheat, that means, again, it doesn't mean anything, because it could be all of the flour could come from wheat, but it doesn't say whole wheat. You want all of the flour to come from the entirety of the wheat, okay? So be careful, guys. Stick to whole grain. Stick to whole grain and avoid the dodgy stuff that's going in and out. Oh shit, why did you say sounds going in and out, Janine? I was just finishing off my piece.
You were cutting in and out. The sound was, I was losing you, then you're in. Then
Oh, is it that now?
Go now.
Okay, stick to whole grain and you'll stay on the right track. Try to avoid the pitfalls that I explained to you here today. Thank you very much, all the very best.